This is huge for the Toronto Blue Jays. Is coming off of the craziest game of the year against the Los Angeles Dodgers. The Jays entered a crucial stretch of play and just sent a serious message to an extremely good Chicago Cubs team. We're going to break down exactly what happened and most importantly discuss what this means going forward as we are inching closer and closer to September. And folks, this was an insane game to witness. Stay tuned to the end of the video. But before we get into it all, if you're a part of the percentage who aren't subscribed to the channel, this is the place to be for daily Jays content. So make sure to smash that subscribe button. You guys have been absolute beasts for the support, folks. What a game for the Toronto Blue Jays. They return home where they play a lot better than they do on the road. And boy, oh boy, do they come out and send a message to the Cubs. And obviously, you're at a point now where every single game matters. Every single pitch matters. Every at-bat matters. The Jays come in and beat the Cubs 5-1, and they are officially now the first AL team to reach 70 wins, and they are 5 wins away from beating last year's win total, and it's August 12th. Folks, what a crazy game, and there's a lot to go over within this game and all these different things, but just as a whole, just an incredible performance from this team. I mentioned in previous videos, like this upcoming stretch of play is going to be absolutely, crazy. You have the Cubs and then you have the Rangers, and the Rangers pitching staff's going to be wild. The Cubs got one of their pitchers back for his first start of the year this year, and the Jays jumped on him fairly early. Every game matters, and as the time recording, the Red Sox are winning, the Yankees are winning. You have to keep up here in the AL East and continue to win, and let's go through it from the top. Nathan Lucas went 1 for 5. Bo Bichette 1 for 4. Vladdy continues to be just scorching hot, like scorching hot. 3 for 4 in this game, bringing his average officially up to 300, and his OPS plus is crazy. Everything is crazy with Vladdy. We'll dive back into it later. Barger struggled a little bit tonight. Smoked one ball. To first base, was out. The other one, struck out a couple times. Pretty rough game for him. Kirk, a clutch RBI single in the first inning to get the Jays on the board. Desperately needed that. And then, of course, you have Dalton Varsho hitting a massive home run to give them a little bit of extra insurance, but also just massive overall because you're gonna need him to be hot. Ty France we'll dive into later, and Ernie Clement to start of the show with an absolute moonshot 3-run home run. That was literally the decision and the deciding factor in this game. But folks, what a wild one. And obviously the Jays right now, like I've been mentioning, they're at a point where you have a lot of decisions incoming. And obviously Andres Gimenez, he played his first game back tonight and things were pretty good there. He looked really good, solid defensively, got a nice base hit, and, Carlos Feebles in the early in the game there sent Ty France home and was out by, a few feet. It was the first bad send by Carlos Fables on the year. So it is what it is. But the Jays have found something with their offense, and we'll dive into the pitching in a minute. Vladdy looks the best he's looked all year. His OPS plus, in the last handful of weeks is like his OPS is like above 1,000. He is unbelievable now with the 300 average. He is as hot as it gets. Is his home run power like exactly where we expected it to be? Maybe a little bit below, but I don't care at this point. He's one of the legitimate best hitters in baseball. Top 10 hitter in all of baseball. Top 10 position player war in all of baseball. He is an elite player, and he's playing like it. Alejandro Kirk, he's really, really good. But the duo of Bo Bichette and Vladdy, they're gonna be what either, you're gonna ride with the ship with them. They're either gonna sink it come playoff time, basically, the Jays will live or they will die by Bo Bichette and Vladimir Guerrero Jr. If those two don't perform well in the next coming weeks into the playoffs, then the team won't perform where they need to be. And it's as simple as that. It's been like that now in their 6th or 7th year in the MLB. And now that it's all coming together, it was, great to see. But then you have guys in the bottom of the order like Dalton Varsho hitting a solo home run, and Ty France, who is crazy. We'll dive into José Berríos in a minute. He has put the ball in play 3 times tonight and hit 3 balls over 100 miles an hour with a 56.6% hard hit percentage as a J coming into today. He has, and we make jokes, and I make jokes all the time about unlocking, Ty France through Dave Popkins. He has been unlocked. Like, he has been unbelievable. And once, obviously, the return of George Springer, comes, and I'll have a video tomorrow morning and a bunch of updates, I don't think you can send down Ty France now. It's probably going to be a guy like Joey Loperfido because he didn't play tonight against a righty pinch hit or anything like that. And Ty France has been really good, and they're liking him. They DH'd him over Joey Loperfido against a right-handed pitcher who, albeit, was pretty good against lefties. But, man, an incredible game for Ty France. And if he can kind of, factor in there alongside George Springer, because this is the lineup I would expect come playoff time against a righty, but replace Ty France with George Springer. I think this is probably what they run. And very similar as well, like Lucas, Bichette, Guerrero, Barger, Kirk, Varsho. And obviously you have Springer probably in the 2-hole, Bichette in the 4-hole. That slides everyone else down. Barger 5, Kirk 6, Varsho 7, Clement 8, and Gimenez 9. That's, to me, a playoff lineup. And if you have, Ty France off the bench going against Mash against a righty or even a lefty, obviously, because he's a right-handed hitter, instead of Miles Straw. That's the difference we're seeing now with this team, and it translated a bit as well to the pitching side of the ball. And a couple players I want to highlight here. I mean, Berríos going 5 1/3 is unbelievable. He had a 25 to 30 pitch inning where he was struggling. He was on the ropes. The walks are killing the Jays again. 4 walks in this one for Berríos. For him to be able to get out of it without giving up a run and to really just battle in that inning and leave the bases loaded leave him without giving up a run, truly incredible. And he's going to be someone, you can argue all you want about what the playoff rotation is going to look like. I don't know if Berríos is a playoff caliber starter right now. I really don't know. But what I do know is that he got them the win tonight and really helped them. And the bullpen dominant, and these are the games where you benefit from having A, the rest day yesterday, but B, just a really elite bullpen. Mason Flaherty coming in really good, like unbelievable, especially coming off of the I guess appearance of his career against the Dodgers. Tommy Nance came in and did pretty bad. He was walking guys, gave up a walk to the 8-hitter, 9-hitter, all these different things. 2 hits. You bring in Brendan Little, he gets the job done. Louis Varland, one of the most dominant outings you'll ever see out of a reliever. I don't know why the Twins gave up a reliever with 5 more years of control who throws 99 with the potential to be a starter. Louis Varland is an absolute maniac. He is a machine, and you can see this here with this combination of stuff, mound presence, and years of control. Louis Varland has a chance to be one of the better relievers this organization has ever seen. Let that man stay a high leverage arm out of the bullpen. If it ain't broken, don't fix it. He pitched the 8th inning tonight in high leverage. It was 4-1 at the time because it was before Dalton Varsho's bomb. It was dominant, and he's probably going to continue to pitch in that 7th or 8th inning. You have Sir Anthony Dominguez as well, who's been struggling as of late. Probably he'll be the 7th inning guy. You still have Brennan Little, and then of course Jimmy Garcia at some point's hopefully going to return. We don't really know yet. And then Jeff Hoffman, to get him back out there following what was the 5-walk win, which was crazy against the Dodgers, to get him back out there and for him to have a 1-2-3 inning with 2 Ks, it's exactly what they needed. And shout out to John Schneider. He managed the bullpen really well today. You could argue a little bit about, putting in Tommy Nance in a 3-run game. Tommy Nance has been great this year. Sub-1 ERA coming into the year. Now it's up to 1.5. You have to expect him to get the job done against the bottom of the lineup. He didn't. Thank God he was bailed out by Brennan Little. Louis Varland, absolutely dominant. And Jeff Hoffman, finishing the job here. The Jays are now 20 games above 500, and assuming the Red Sox win, will remain, where they are, which is 4.5 games up in the AL East. This team is truly special to watch. And we also got to see, of course, Buck Martinez return home. Of course, he was announcing LA, and they returned to the booth there. Also, the most sold-out crowd of the entire year. So shout out to all the fans out there. This is just an incredible run the Jays are on right now, and Vladdy's on fire. Bo's still on fire. And if this team can continue to stay on fire, shout out to Ernie Clement. He obviously hit the big home run. Like, that was the game-changing home run on, I believe it was the first pitch. That's what opened up the game, and that's what this team was missing for a while, was the home run ball earlier on in the year before they, got hot. That's what they're hitting now. Vibes are high. Ladies and gentlemen, this team is an absolute wagon, and hopefully you're enjoying it every step of the way. Make sure to hit the subscribe button. See you guys later.